Bermane Stiverne could step aside to allow Deontay Wilder to fight Luis King Kong Ortiz. What's up guys, this is Cypherbox, and I basically want to touch on an interview I saw conducted by Dante's Boxing Nation. Shout out to him. Links to those videos are in the description of my video here. And in it, Stiverne has stated that Deontay Wilder's team want to pay him some step aside money. If you didn't already know, Stiverne is the mandatory challenger to Wilder's WBC title. And basically what he's saying here is that he's in charge and that nothing's going to happen without his say so. Wilder can't fight Ortiz, or anyone for that matter, until he makes a decision, which is quite interesting. He's also stated that if he decides to step aside, it's going to cost Wilder a hell of a lot of money. He didn't actually state how much money, but all he has said that his manager, James Prince, who also manages Andre Ward, is currently working on a deal with Team Wilder. It's quite an interesting situation. If Stiverne decides that he's going to step aside, he's in a win-win situation, because he'll get some money a lot of money to step aside and allow Wilder to fight Ortiz. But at the same time, he's still the mandatory challenger to the WBC title, which means he will face the winner of that fight. Or you at least think Stiverne will face the winner of that fight, depending on whether the WBC keep him as the mandatory challenger. Because I'm not hearing a lot about, the WBC ordering that fight with Deontay Wilder. That hasn't been confirmed. That hasn't come out of the WBC's mouth. What else is interesting for me is Luis King Kong Ortiz is the mandatory challenger to Antony Joshua's WBA title, which makes me think, is Deontay Wilder finally wanting to fight Luis King Kong Ortiz because he thinks that's an angle where he can get his fight against AJ? Because he has been calling out AJ for a while now. He's been talking a lot of smack over Instagram, etc. I'm thinking maybe he's thinking, well, if I fight Ortiz, I beat Ortiz, I take his WBA mandatory position, and that puts me in a position now to negotiate a fight with AJ. So I don't know whether it would work like that or not work like that, because some of these boxing organisations, they change their rules when it suits them. But it's an interesting situation. And like I said, going back to Stiverne, if he steps aside, does he still hold on to his mandatory position with the WBC for Wilder's title? If he does, then that puts him in a really good position as well, because not only he gets paid to step aside, gets paid a lot of money to step aside, because he has stated that if he is going to step aside, it's going to cost Deontay Wilder a hell of a lot of money. So he gets paid a massive amount to step aside, but not only that, he's still the mandatory challenger to the WBC title, which means he still gets the winner of Wilder versus Ortiz. And if he was to win that, and say that he wins that, he becomes the WBC champion, does he also become in turn the WBA mandatory challenger to AJ's WBA belt? Who knows? We'll have to watch this space and see what goes on. It's quite interesting in my opinion. And let's not forget about Luis Ortiz and all of this. I mean, everyone's assuming Deontay Wilder is going to beat Ortiz. Ortiz is a really good boxer. We all know that. He hits hard, etc. So if he was to beat Deontay Wilder, he will still hold on to his WBA mandatory challenger's position for Antony Joshua's WBA title. So I would assume. So even Ortiz it's kind of a good deal for him if Stiverne decides to step aside, because it opens up opportunities for him. End of the day, this is an interesting situation here. Kind of interested to see how it plays out. We'll try and keep a close eye on it all. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment. And until next time, this is Cypherbox reminding you to keep it real.